Okay, so you're here because you want to get the important stuff, get it quickly, and, not get bogged down in jargon.
That's the plan.
And that's exactly what we're doing today. We've gone through a whole stack of really crucial info.
Yep, bringing you the sharpest takeaways.
Think of it as your express lane to understanding a really pressing issue that Texas is facing right now.
Right, and we're basing this on the latest reports, the newest research expert analysis.
Okay, let's dive in then. We're looking at this escalating threat, extreme heat in Texas. There's frankly, a pretty alarming 2024 report from Texas A&M.
The one predicting a quadrupling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
4 times as many 100-degree days by 2036. Just let that sink in.
Yeah. And it's not just about, being uncomfortable for a few days.
No.
The real problem, and this came up in a 2022 MIT Tech Review article about the power grid.
And those ERCOT reports about record demand around the same time.
Exactly. The issue is the infrastructure.
Yep.
But power grid, our AC systems that we all rely on, they just weren't built for this kind of intense, sustained heat.
Right, so our mission today, it's pretty clear. Understand the actual risks, figure out why just relying on AC, our usual fix, is becoming limited.
A dangerous bet, almost.
Yeah. And then explore what we can actually do. Survival strategies, longer-term fixes that people are talking about.
And we're looking at a wide range, right? University studies, tech articles, grid operator data.
Climate science groups, government agencies like the CDC, NOAA, even environmental groups, and building journals. Plus that Texas Extreme Heat Survival Guide.
So we're piecing together a full picture from all these different angles, trying to grasp the scale of it and, what the options might be.
Okay, let's get right into it. This reliance on air conditioning. It's starting to look shaky.
Definitely. There's a 2023 study from the Climate Adaptation Platform, and the Texas Tribune also reported that year on the tragic heat deaths from 2022. It really highlights the danger.
And there's this concept, what did Climate Central call it? A Death Valley event?
Yeah, that's the term they used in their 2024 analysis. It ties back to that Climate Adaptation Platform study from 23.
Which said what? That ACs have a limit.
Basically, yeah. Most modern units, they're designed for outside temps up to about 115 Fahrenheit. That's roughly 46 Celsius. Think of it as their breaking point, more or less.
Okay, and here's the kicker, right? Once you go past 115...
They struggle, they can't cool effectively, the efficiency just plummets.
And eventually they can just stop working.
They can fail completely, yes. And when that happens, the inside temperature can start climbing towards the outside temperature.
Which could be deadly.
Absolutely deadly. The CDC heat stress guidelines, plus a 2023 New England Journal of Medicine piece on heat stroke, they lay it out.
How bad?
Organ failure can start in under 30 minutes if your body temperature gets above 103 Fahrenheit.
Wow.
And if indoor temps hit, say, 120, 130, death can happen within hours. Heat stroke is incredibly fast and dangerous.
That is terrifying.
Okay.
And it's not just us, right? Our stuff can fail too.
Right. That 2023 Environment America report mentioned electronics overheating and failing. Imagine losing communication or other critical devices in that heat.
On top of everything else. And the Texas A&M study you mentioned earlier, it also talked about insulation.
Yeah, how poor insulation basically turns houses into ovens, trapping the heat. Especially in urban areas, the heat island effect makes it worse.
So this points to a big problem with our houses themselves.
For sure. Standard Texas housing often just isn't built for this kind of heat. That Environment America report on urban heat islands touched on it, and the UN Climate Resilience Toolkit info for 2024 does too.
It's that vicious cycle, isn't it? Bad insulation means the AC runs constantly.
Works harder, uses way more energy.
Strains the grid, costs more money.
And increases the risk of the AC itself overheating and failing when you need it most. But, it doesn't have to be this way. Public Citizen put out an analysis in 2024 about sustainable housing.
Suggesting what? Better design.
Yeah, smarter architecture, using different materials, things that could actually prevent heat deaths by keeping homes cooler naturally.
Okay, so if AC is becoming less reliable, what are the alternatives? When it fails, what do you do? That Survival Guide and other sources had some creative ideas.
Well, one idea that really stands out and was mentioned in the Journal of Building Engineering in 2023 regarding earth-sheltered homes is underground bunkers.
Like literally under him.
Yeah, about 20 feet down. The idea is that the earth itself acts as insulation, keeping the temperature around a stable, cool 50 degrees Fahrenheit all year round.
Without any AC.
Without any active cooling, exactly. Just the earth's natural temperature regulation.
That sounds intense, but makes sense. thick concrete or earth blocking heat.
Right. And sources point to historical examples, like the underground cities in Cappadocia. People lived there for ages. Architectural journals have studied these thick-walled, earth-sheltered structures, too.
Okay. But what if even that's not enough? Some areas might get even hotter.
That's where evacuation plans become critical. NOAA's 2024 climate risk assessments really emphasize this for the highest risk zones, areas projected to exceed even EC design limits consistently.
So planning for the worst
Hmm.
makes sense. Looking longer term, though, how do we get less dependent on AC?
That's where passive cooling comes in. Environment America did work on this in 2023.
Passive cooling, like using the building itself to cool things down.
Exactly. Smart design features things like proper ventilation, shading strategies, using breezes, building orientation, specific materials that can all significantly reduce the need for mechanical AC.
And that connects back to the underground idea, doesn't it?
It does. The Survival Guide, Climate Change Resources in 2024, they all mention those ancient cities like Cappadocia again.
Thousands of people living underground, staying cool without AC.
And the Journal of Building Engineering Research from 2023 backs up how effective those earth-sheltered designs are. It's proven tech, just old tech.
What about community approaches?
That's another angle. Public Citizen's 2024 work, looking at Austin's climate equity plan, for example, talks about community-driven housing, focusing on building sustainable, affordable neighborhoods. And you could absolutely integrate passive cooling or even earth-sheltered designs into that model.
It's really pretty amazing when you look back. Ancient Persia you mentioned.
Yeah, Climate Change Resources talked about their ERCOT system, these incredible underground channels for moving water and cooling air in the desert.
Just shows incredible ingenuity.
It really does. And the point a 2023 Nature Climate Change article made is that we shouldn't ignore that wisdom.
We should combine it.
Yes, combine that historical knowledge with our modern technology. That's probably where the best adaptation strategies lie.
So, wrapping this up,
Yes.
the main takeaway for you listening seems pretty stark.
Yeah, the heat crisis in Texas is serious. It's urgent.
And this is important. Sources like Public Citizen and the Texas Tribune are saying it's not hopeless, it's solvable.
If we act, community climate action, local advocacy, that's what they're pushing for in 2024.
NOAA's 2024 assessment puts it plainly. Extreme heat threatens homes, health, the future. It demands solutions now. And practically speaking, there are pushes for things like more resilient housing. That Survival Guide mentioned a GoFundMe and an app called Believe.
Though they did say the app's status was unverified, so caution there.
Right. But the goal is funding affordable bunkers, based on the idea that survival shouldn't depend on how much money you have. Common Cause and Public Citizen echo that. Basic safety.
And getting the word out is key. The Texas Tribune highlighted using social media, YouTube, X.com, whatever platforms people use.
To raise awareness, get people talking, drive funding, push for change, collective action.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. Texas faces a worsening heat crisis. Relying only on AC is reaching its limit.
Becoming a gamble.
Alternatives like underground housing, passive cooling, they offer real possibilities. Learning from the past is crucial.
And community action, individual awareness, policy changes, they're all vital pieces of the puzzle.
The message from pretty much all the sources is loud and clear. Time is running out. We need to address this now.
Absolutely. The urgency is palpable in the research.
So here's something to maybe chew on after this. Think about that ingenuity of past civilizations, adapting to climates way tougher than ours, often without any tech we'd recognize.
Just sheer cleverness and understanding of their environment.
How do they manage that? And how can we take those core ideas, that resourcefulness, combine it with everything we know now?
All our science, our materials, our technology.
To tackle this heat crisis, not just in Texas, but anywhere else facing this. What do you think needs to change, personally and societally, to make sure we have a livable future?